Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. This guy right here is Evil Mike, and I got a review for you today. From DC Comics, we're going to be talking about StarGirl, The Lost Children, issue number 3. It is written by Geoff Johns, art by Todd Nauck, colors by Matt Herms, and letters by Rob Leigh. And we got this cover by Amy Reeder. Before I get started on this review, please like, comment, subscribe. All that is free, the likes, the comments, even to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Especially if you like my reviews, it's a good way to, stay in touch with the review. Alright, so anyways, we're with Courtney Whitmore, StarGirl, and Emiko, Red Arrow, and on their search for the missing sidekicks that have been gone for like 40 something years. I don't know. They have found the island where the missing children are, and upon getting there, Emiko is captured, and StarGirl kind of met with some of the lost kids. There was a little bit of confusion, but that's where we are right now. The book starts off, and we are with Emiko as she's waking up after being captured. We kind of see and we have already been kind of told who has them captured. It's the child minder, and that's who we're kind of seeing with these menacing eyes. And then this, it's walking through the halls kind of thing. We catch up with StarGirl and some of the missing children. There's going to be a lot of characters in this book. I want to say like 40, so I'm not going to go through and mention all their names, but some of them I remember, like Cherry Bomb, Robot Dog, but they're all like sidekicks from either Golden Age, Silver Age, stuff like that, characters. The Robbie the Robot Dog was a Golden Age Robot Man sidekick, and then we got Wing, who is the Crimson Avengers sidekick. We got Airwave, and we got Cherry Bomb, the Human Bomb sidekick. But that's what they are, is they're all sidekicks to once upon a time famous heroes, and for some reason they've all been forgotten. But they are all trapped on this island. After Courtney hears that they are trapped, she's like, oh, I can get us off the island with my staff, and she ends up flying out, even after the kids warn her not to. Instantly there's this bolt of lightning that comes for her, and if it isn't for the living frequency, I think his name is Airwave, he kind of jumps in front of the lightning and takes a bunch of the blast, but Courtney is still kind of knocked out. The other sidekicks, they jump into action. Cherry Bomb, she kind of does this Hulk smash kind of thing where she kind of slows their landing. Wing catches Courtney, and then supposedly, and you see right here, the Airwave, he cannot be touched or whatever because he's basically a living frequency, and Cherry Bomb is the only one that has the power or can absorb electricity, so she ends up having to catch him, but she does stay coherent through it even though it kind of hurts. We do see more of these like egg patrol type thing pods, robots that come for the kids, and that's how Emiko got captured, was by one of those things. But the kids mentioned that they need to leave, and they have a place called the Treehouse, and that's their like safe spot, so that's where they end up heading to. Emiko's kind of waking up, but she is being woken up by like whispers from the cell that's coming in next to her. We find out later on who this is, but at the moment it's kind of discombobulating for us and Emiko because she doesn't know really what's going on. As she's talking to this other person on the other side of the cell, we see our tormentor come forth and start answering certain things. But I will mention that the person on the other side of the cell does recognize Emiko as far as the red suit, bow and arrow, and she keeps calling her Speedy. But this is Red Arrow. But it's because it's a Golden Age sidekick, and But this tormentor kind of comes through and mentions that she, well, I will say she because you're about to find out, but that she is a scavenger of the timeline. That she's basically the foster mom, and that they have a foster father that's on their way, and that's kind of hence the child minder. We do get a full, like, epic. I mean, this lady is crazy. She got like chicken legs. I mean, the best thing I can describe her as a harpy with clothes on. No wings. I don't know, or maybe the wings, or the cape. I don't know. She looks dope as creepy. I don't know. But basically, she kind of mentions that she knows everything about Emiko. That she's, and that's kind of where that part leaves off. We jump over here. We we see that the treehouse is behind a waterfall, which Robot Dog has to stay. Robbie, the robot dog, has to stay outside, hence the water. And he was just made, at older times. But as entering the treehouse, we do get greeted by all the lost children, minus a couple that are locked up with the childminder. And like I said, there is a ton of characters. But we get to meet the majority of the ones that were missing. Of course, Courtney Whitmore knows most of them, but there are some that she's not familiar with, like these guys right here that work with her. I think they are called, and she's the new, she is Little Miss Redhead, and they are the Blue Boys. And there is another group called the Newsboy Legion. They were kind of sidekicks to the Guardian, and I love how they do this. They show like the superhero they were, backed by. But these are the Legion of Newsboys or whatever. Then we come over here to John Henry Jr. and they show you, who he was tied to, and they kind of go through everybody that she's not familiar with. And we kind of meet somebody that I was not familiar with either, but we meet Dr. Fate's sidekick, and that is Salem. She is shown here. She's kind of, after all the greetings get done, she's kind of the naysayer, like, this isn't going to amount to anything. She's just another sidekick. I don't know why we're doing this. There's another sidekick that we meet that is Mr. Terrific's sidekick. His name is Quiz Kid, and he's the one that kind of figures out that Courtney Whitmore is from the future. But technically not so much, because we meet somebody else, and this is Corky Baxter. And he is a Time Lord. He was a sidekick to Rip Hunter, one of the original Time Lords. But he's basically telling the group that, that the island is like stuck in between times, and that's why she's able to come from the future, but they're all still from the past. Courtney does reveal some things about some of the characters, as far as like, as far as with Ladybug, that her parents had spent their whole lives looking for her, that kind of thing. The book jumps back to Childminder and Emiko, and Childminder is just basically like, I'm not here to hurt you, this is for your own good. And Emiko is like, hey, well, you don't mind if I try and, just get out of here on my own. And we see that she does try to attack the Childminder, but as soon as it gets going, the Childminder like blows this dust in her face, and we see instantly that Emiko forgets where she is, who she is, what she's doing, and that's what the dust was. It's like some kind of, forget-me-not, whatever. But from the other side of the cell, the person starts talking again, and that kind of tells us, hey, that was like a memory thing, and she can make it last 5 minutes or 5 hours or 5 years. It's up to her. But we do hear mentions of a treadmill, and we get to see who is on the other side of, and this is Judy Garrick, the daughter of the original Flash, Jay Garrick. I think her nickname is the Boom. And that's kind of where this book leaves off. Basically them meeting, that now that Emiko and Judy have to work together to escape, but supposedly Judy is very close to escaping. And basically the introduction of all the, lost children, basically. It was a fantastic issue. I don't know. I mean, the art, the story is really riveting. I don't know how better to put it, but I'm so interested in, like, for one, how did all these people forget that they had sidekicks and stuff like that? Especially because some of these kids aren't just sidekicks, they're children. Like Ladybug, was kind of like asking about her parents and stuff like that, and then learning that her parents spent like 60 years looking for her or something like that. But those are, I mean, of course, it's probably magic or some kind of spell. And then we got the whole foster father figure, which we haven't, we don't know who that is. I don't think they've mentioned it. I don't know. But hey, let me know your thoughts on the book. Are you liking it? Are you loving it? Are you hating it? Are you passing? Let me know down below. I want to know. Alright guys, that's my review. Those are my thoughts. I hope everybody's having a great night. This will probably be my last review of the night. So maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But be on the lookout. Everybody have a good one. I will see y'all later. Bah!